Hello, I'm Shivam Ghosh from Stratus Software, and let's talk about the new GrabCAD Print Pro feature of FDM labels. We're talking about labels that can be embossed, sticking out, or debossed, sticking in. Typically, I do labels as a CAD feature. My old preference was SolidWorks, but now you can do them in your favorite print prep software, GrabCAD Print, without any preparation. Just to be clear what we're talking about, GrabCAD Print Free is still there. It'll talk to your FDM and PolyJet printers, and we're still improving it from month to month. So Print Free is not going anywhere. What we're talking about today is adding on top of it with GrabCAD Print Pro. It will be a paid seat per license per year. It will let you talk to your SAF H350 powder bed printers and let you connect to accuracy, per part estimation, things like that. But what we're talking about today specifically is labels. So where do we find this command? Well, I've got a part here in GrabCAD Print. You right click and there's a choice for add label to body. You can see the label moving around on the curved surface, warping to the curved surface as I slide it around. You can then type in the text you want, the size of the text, and the depth, but after you hit OK, you have to update the geometry to see the label take effect. If you ever want to update the label, you just click on the little label tag here and there's an edit button. You can change it from emboss to deboss, change the depth, and as long as you hit update and then update the geometry, you'll see your label change. And finally, if you want to get rid of that little tag on your screen so you can see the part directly, you can go down here to the right. There's a hide tags button under the label menu. There you go. But now let's talk about what makes a good label. All of our label commands are in points of font. And so the first thing you have to know is 1 inch is 72 points of font. This is a 1 inch text on the screen. This is 72 point font on the right. So if you want your label font to be a ½ inch tall, you multiply that ½ inch by 72 and you get your answer of 36 point font is what you should enter into our menu. Now, due to conventions about how fonts are created, no actual letter in your font is going to be that ½ inch tall. They measure from the tallest L to the bottom of the lowest P or the Y. So no letter, not even capital letters, are going to be a ½ inch exactly. Here's a little chart I made to help you guys convert. From inches to points, you multiply by 72. From millimeters to inches, you multiply by 25.4. And to go from millimeters to points directly, multiply by 2.83. However, as you're going to see on the next slide, our testing has shown that you want to keep your font above 20 points to make sure they're legible on vertical surfaces in a dimly lit factory floor. Here are some test cubes we printed out. Each cube is 1 inch on a side. Going in the vertical direction, I'm increasing the depth of how far the deboss goes into the cube. And going from left to right, I'm increasing the size of the font. The number is the points of font. And to keep things legible, I would stay in this zone here, okay? Greater than 1 millimeter depth and greater than 20 point font. If you want to make it even more legible, you can increase the depth of the deboss, but those tend to be stress concentrations in your part, and they also fill up with support, as we're going to see in a second. When you're talking FDM, you always have to talk about support. So here are some more test samples in GrabCAD Print's Slice View. You can see at draft angles that overhang, we're getting more automatic support generation on these faces here with the labels. Even on the vertical faces or the inward drafted faces, we get some support generation, but that shouldn't be too big of a problem if your support just dissolves away. If you guys are using breakaway support, you may want to do a test like this before you print. And that's the quick rundown. Basically, there's a new feature in Print Pro that lets you add labels to FDM parts. You can put the text you want, the size, the depth of emboss or deboss, and you can do things like mark your part number on your prints, or left hand or right hand, or the date it was printed, or the name of the assembly it goes with, okay? Lots of stuff you can do with these new labels in GrabCAD Print Pro. If you'd like a free trial, just let your local reseller know and we can get you set up. Thanks again, and I've been Shivam Ghosh with Stratus Software.